Meanwhile, celebrations continue in Syria. Take a look.
With a push, this statue of Hafez al-Assad, Bashar al-Assad's father, topples to the ground. In Kamshili, an autonomous province of Syrian Kurdistan in northeast Syria, locals have been celebrating the fall of the Assad regime since the early hours of the morning.
I can't put my feelings into words. We have been waiting for this day for 14 years. The fall of Bashar al-Assad signifies the dawn of a new Syria for us, a life filled with hope, justice, humanity, dignity and freedom.
In Damascus, residents were also hopeful for their futures as the jubilant crowds filled the Umayyad Square in Damas Old Town. The Syrian capital came under control of the Islamist rebels on Sunday morning. The mood was much the same in Homs, where people danced in the streets, celebrating what they see as a victory for the Syrian people.
14 years ago, I was displaced from Homs when the regime forced us to leave the city by bus. We returned to Homs as victors and liberators.
The fall of the regime was also celebrated in Azaz in northwest Syria on the border with Turkey, a region which has been living on Turkish aid for many years. Wearing flags on their backs, locals filled the streets in their thousands to celebrate the end of Assad's rule.
Earlier, I spoke to Forward Thinking's Oliver McTernan about the path forward in a post-Assad Syria.
Well, that's a very good question, and I think you've highlighted the problem. When we prescribe groups, we exclude them from necessary conversations. And I think the only way forward in Syria now is what should have happened 14 years ago, an inclusive dialogue. No one should, with constituency, and especially with the power that they have, should be excluded from talks. It would be a major, major error.
And the more inclusive they are, and with the countries in the region, Syria borders Turkey, Lebanon, Iraq, Jordan, and Israel, this will be a very difficult and a very long, drawn-out process, though.
Yes, but I think what we're witnessing now is an imposed stability is not sustainable. And the risk is what happened 14, 15 years ago is a rush to find some sort of stability. Then we live with it. And what happens all along, the grievance festers and it gets worse. So rather, it's like papering over a crack, you know, that if you haven't addressed the cause, the foundational cause of that crack in the wall, it will always be there, whatever you do. So I think with conflict, it is exactly the same. This is a moment when now the whole of the powers in the region have to get serious and really address the core issues. This has thrown up many issues. We have the whole Hezbollah were in Syria, as I understood, to provide a buffer zone against what they saw as extremist Sunni movements. Where is that going to go now? What are the issues for Lebanese Shiites? That is a serious issue. Then the whole issue of the Golan Heights. In 81, Israel annexed those. That is going to come back on the table. There's no question about it. So I think what we've got to try and avoid now is trying again to get this, manage the conflict, get a quick fix that provides some stability. That has got to be avoided. This time we have to go to the core issues, the root causes, the grievances, which give rise to this unrest in the whole of the region.
That's it from me, but France 24's special coverage of Syria continues.